So I'm just grabbing a 4.5mm hook and one of my double knit yarns. I'm going to do a slip stitch. I'm going to chain 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. Going to join to the first of the chains to form a loop, and then I'm going to chain 3, 1, 2, 3. That is my first double crochet, and I'm going to do another 11 double crochet into that center hole there. So it's that one there. So that's one that's already on my hook, and then 11 more, which will make 12. So that's 2, 3. I am crocheting over my yarn end, so when we get round to the beginning and the end of this round, when we get around, I can use that yarn end to pull tight and close up the hole. So I'm just going to count how many I've got now. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 and 12. We're going to slip stitch into the top of that first chain 3, pull through. I'm just going to snip that off and pull that tight. You could actually sew them two together, or you could not sew them together. I'm just going to knot them together, and then I'll sew in my ends later on. So for the sunburst or starburst, the next round, we're just going to pick a next colour, any random colours. This is absolutely fabulous to make the best, brightest starbursts, blankets, hats, anything you want. So I'm just going to pick any gap, slip stitched onto the hook and just pulling through the yarn, and we've attached it to my working yarn, and then I'm going to chain 2. In effect, that's going to be this first leg of the next stitch, which will be a puff stitch. So the puff stitch, no, the cluster stitch, sorry, is going to be yarn over through the same gap, pull through the yarn from behind, pull it up, yarn over, pull through 2. You've got 2 on your hook, yarn over, go through there again, the same hole, pull through your yarn, pull it up, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, so you've got 3 on your hook, yarn over and pull through and chain 1. So that's your first cluster. Then we're going to go into the next gap. Same this time, we're just going to go yarn over through the gap, yarn over, pull through, yarn over, pull through the first 2. So we're starting to do like a double crochet, but we're not finishing it off. So it's like an unfinished double crochet. So yarn over, go through, pull up the yarn, yarn over, pull through 2. So we've got 3 loops on your hook, yarn over, go through the same gap, yarn over, pull through 2 again. We've got 4 on the hook, yarn over, pull through and chain 1. So go to the next gap, yarn over, go through the gap, yarn over, pull up, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over through the same gap, pull through, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over through the gap, pull up, yarn over, pull through 3. we've got 4 on your hook, yarn over, pull through all 4 and chain 1. I'm going to do that again, yarn over, and I'm still going to try and crochet in the ends around the back just to get rid of those ends as much as we can, and then we can just snip them all off later on. So we're going to do that in every gap all the way around. Round to the end now. I'm just going to chain 1 and attach it to the top of that first 3 double crochets there, and that is the second round done. On our third round, we're just going to square it off. So I'm going to start where I want to start, into a corner. So I'm just going to go into any space and I'm going to chain 4, and that's going to be my first treble, and I'm going to treble into the corner, and make it a corner by chain 2 and then treble again into the same corner, and treble again and treble again. So your corner stitch is going to be a treble 3 times, chain 2 and 3 trebles again, and that'll just give you, we're just trying to make it so that it's square. So then in your 2 gaps coming up the side, we're just going to do a cluster of 3 double crochets in each gap. That's 1, 2, that's just my tail end in the way there, 3, and I'm not putting a chain in between the clusters. Then I'm going to do another cluster, 1, 2, 3 double crochets, and I'm getting into the corner now. So I'm going to treble into the corner space. We're making a corner. That's 1 treble, 2 trebles, and 3 trebles, chain 2, 1 treble, 2 trebles, and get out of my way, 3 treble. I'm coming back down the other side, so we'll come back to this next gap. We're just going to do 3 double crochets in the gap, no chain space in between. I'm going to jump to the next gap, three double crochets to make the granny cluster, and then we're back into a corner space. The treble, two treble, three treble, chain 2, 1 treble, 2 treble, and 3 treble, Going into the space beside, we're doing a cluster on its own of double crochets, 3 double crochets, no chain in between, and jump to the next gap. We put another, they're going into the last gap here. We're going to make the last corner, so it's your treble, three times, chain 2, and 3 trebles again for the last time. And we've got our 2 gaps left, so we're just going to put our clusters of 3 double crochets. And we're just going to slip stitch into that top of the 4th. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4. Going to snip and pull through. To make our triangle sunburst, we're going to start with a slip knot. We're going to chain 4, join our yarn to the beginning to make a loop, and chain 3. That is my first double crochet, and I'm going to do 12 altogether into this ring, that bit there. That's 1 already done. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Just going to slip stitch into the top of that chain 3, snip off the ends, and as I've went over the yarn end, I can always pull that tight and it closes it in, but we'll do that later on. Going to get another colour. I'm going to just do a slip knot again. I'm going to make 12 granny clusters going around, so anywhere I'm just going to attach the yarn and chain 3, 1, 2, 3, and our first cluster is half double crochets. It's not half double crochet, it's a double crochet only half finished. So yarn over through the gap, pull up, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over through the gap, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over through the gap, yarn over, pull through 2, 4 on the hook, pull through all 4, chain 1, and that is our cluster stitch. So it's yarn over through, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over through the stitch, yarn over, pull up, yarn over, pull through 2. That's 3 on your hook, yarn over, go through, yarn over, pull through with 4 on your hook, yarn over and pull through 4, chain 1 to finish the stitch. So this is exactly the same as what we did with our square, but this time we're going to change it to 3 sides instead of the 4. So we've got 3 lots. I'm going to go into all the way around, so we'll have 12 lots of clusters. Chain 1 and slip stitch into the top of your first chain 3 to close this round. Snippety snip, and then we're just going to do our third round. Pick another colour. Just start with a slip stitch. We join into anywhere we find a gap in between your clusters, and we're going to start with a treble crochet and another treble crochet. Oops. And a chain 2, a treble crochet into the same. So we're going to make a corner, treble crochet into the same, and treble crochet into the same. This time, because we're going to make it into a triangle, we're going to do 3 sets of granny clusters down the side. That's 1 set of 3 double crochets into the next gap, 2 sets of 3 double crochets, and 3 sets of 3 double crochets. Then we're going to do into the next gap, we're going to do a treble, another treble. So we're going to do 3 trebles, two chains and 3 trebles. And into the, come back down the side, so we're doing 3 lots of granny clusters. So that's 2, so that's your 3 double crochets in the same gap for 3 times. Now back round to the last corner, we're going to do 3 trebles, 2 chains and 3 trebles, all into the same, it doesn't want to work, into the same gap. Excuse me. And then for the last 3, we're going to, last 3 gaps, we're going to do 3 lots of clusters, that's your third and your final cluster. I'm just going to go into our first stitch, 1, 2, 3, into the top, going to slip stitch, snip off our yarn, pull through, and we'll fasten in all our ends. And that is how we do our triangle. So that's our sunburst, triangle and sunburst square.